Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about the different wings for Enneagram Type 2. So of course that's wing 1 and wing 3, and we're going to talk about the differences between a 2-1 and a 2-3, and try to unpack it a little bit, help you understand more about yourself, understand more about the people in your life that you love and care about, how to be more compassionate with yourself and more compassionate with others. So, a little bit more about twos. I continue to learn and understand and grow. Of course, my wife is a 2, and she's a 2-wing 1. And just the time I think I've got to figure it out, then I realize there's always more to learn. And so twos, of course, are in the shame group with 3s and 4s. And, the hard reality is that the shame group or that worth group is asking the question, essentially beneath the surface, they're asking the question, what is my right to be here? Why am I alive? Where does my worth and value come from? And so twos have kind of created for themselves the scenario that if I'm helpful to you, if I'm pleasing to you, if I'm of benefit to you, then I must be somebody of worth and value. Of course, you are a person of worth and value, intrinsic value. You walk into any nursery in any hospital and, there's 5 or 6 or 10 or more babies lying in that nursery. Every one of those babies has intrinsic value. They haven't accomplished anything. They can have different skin color. Who knows whether they're going to succeed at school or work? None of that really matters when it comes to value. You know as well as I do that every person, every child in every preschool and in every nursery has unbelievable value just because they exist. I would say because they're created in the image of God. But the 2, 3, and 4 have kind of lost sight of that. And so they try to, develop for themselves at least, their sense of value and worth. And so 3s can be overly focused on what they have attained and what they have achieved and whether or not they're being admired and appreciated for that, what they've accomplished. 4s, in their ability to stand out, be different, be special, and be unique. I always think of 4s as kind of the idea is if everybody does the same job, then we're all replaceable. But if you do a different job, that makes you a person of value because only you could do that job. If everybody shows up in khakis and a black shirt or jeans and a black shirt, it's the person that stands out that is the person that's different, or the person that's special that is the person that would be missed. And so 4s will even sometimes move themselves away to see if they're missed, to kind of test their theory. So we'll talk about 3s and 4s more in their videos, but today we're going to talk about the 2. And the 2 is called, the helper or the giver. They focus their attention externally on you, and they'll make you feel fantastic. They want to make a connection with you. They will, go overboard to make you feel special. In fact, the 2-wing 3 is called what? The host. Hosts focus the attention on you. They want you to feel welcome. They want you to feel big. They want you to feel important. They want you to feel like you're the center of their world. They're focusing their attention on you. And of course, that's very attractive. It's very seductive, you might say. And so it's very attractive to be made to feel like you're special and like you're important. And so what happens is you find yourself wanting to be around them, to want to be connected to them. And then they, in a sense, get what they need through this strategy. Now that you want to be around them, and now you've created this dependent relationship on them, and 2s are the classic codependents. You now find yourself dependent on their attention and on their appreciation and on their affection. And so they get their sense of self-worth and identity and value from that relationship that they make with you. So it's a reciprocal relationship. And I don't think this is anything to be ashamed of. We all, in all of our relationships are reciprocal to some degree or another. If they weren't, it's not a relationship. Relationships are always reciprocal. So the two adopts this as somewhat, you might say, of a strategy of dealing with their issues of questions of worth and value. Some inherent dangers in here, as you can see. For some twos, it may come to the point that in order for you to love me, I have to erase me. For you to love me and for you to have a relationship with me, then I have to become what you need me to be, and I kind of have to minimize who I really am in order, to be pleasing to you. And that's an inherent trap or inherent danger of two-ness, is to lose yourself in becoming what people want or need you to be. And as a two, you're going to feel that intense pressure to become what people need you to be. The two-wing one is a servant, is called the servant or caretaker. And caretakers exist, not to draw attention to their own needs or to make their own needs known. Caretakers exist to take care of other people's needs and can easily lose themselves and lose their intrinsic, unique value and identity and worth in just, I exist to take care of you. I exist to serve you. And, it's an inherent trap of two-ness is to go to sleep to your own needs, or to feel like your own needs are selfish in some way, for you to voice your own needs, desires, and wants and concerns, and to lose yourself in taking care of others is a real inherent danger for twos, or to create those codependent relationships where as long as you serve and give and you don't make your needs known, then people relate to you. But twos can, that's not necessarily always a healthy relationship. All of us have a give and take, and as like any other type, twos, you have real needs that, whether it's hard for you to say them out loud or not, you have real needs and you have real desires, and you also at times need to take care of yourself, and you need others to help you and to take care of you as well. Okay, so let's talk about the well, before I get into the wings, there's one other thing I wanted to relate to you, and that is sort of like the some of the core thoughts and values of twos that can be a little hard for you to hear out loud. I'm not lovable as I am. This is coming from Beatrice Chestnut's book. Okay, so this isn't original with me. These statements here, I just want you to think about how hard some of these sound. Okay, I'm not lovable as I am. That's a core value or a core belief of twos, and to some degree of threes and fours as well. But like, there's something inherently not worthy of just me and myself. That sense of like, I have to serve some purpose in people's life, or I don't have value. I have to take care of others, or I don't have any value. And again, you do have value. Maybe you haven't, that hasn't been communicated to you. It hasn't been something that you've intrinsically believed or understood about yourself. But realize that at the core of what it means to be a two is that sense of worthlessness, and that desire to create, of course, to combat that, to create that sense of worth by repressing your own needs. That's part of it. Repressing your own needs, and then heightening the needs of others, and then meeting those needs, taking care of people. It gives you your sense of value and worth. I can only get affection or care by seducing others into relationship. And again, don't think seduce means like some kind of sexual thing. It just means sort of, reaching out, caring for others, and then they'll want to then reciprocate that care and concern for you. But I can only get affection and care by seducing others into relationship through meeting their needs and being the person they want me to be. That's a lot of pressure on you to be the person that everybody else wants you to be. I remember saying in one of my other videos that twos kind of live with the assumption that there's two kinds of people in this world: those that love me and those that don't know me well enough yet. Twos have that sense that I could win anybody over given enough time. Give me the opportunities, give me enough time, I can win them over to me. And it's because twos are committed to this. They're committed to looking for the needs and concerns of others and then meeting those needs in a bid to win that person's love, affection, attention. Now, again, you may not sense this about yourself. No, I really just want to take care of people. I really just want to take care of people. I really just am so filled with love. Okay, and that's cool. That's great. How do you feel though when others that you have cared for and loved and taken care of, when they take advantage of you, when they fail to appreciate you, when they minimize your gift to them? Does it hurt in any way? Of course it hurts. It hurts because you hope that people will appreciate the love and the concern and the dedication that you show them. And the reality is you well know, far better than I do, that often that love isn't reciprocated or appreciated to the value in which it deserves. Okay, so this idea though that I can only get my affection, I can only get the needs that I have met by taking care of other people, that's inherent to twos, to you guys that are twos. The rest of the population does not think this way. Okay, so just realize that about yourself. I think not only are twos' radar up to notice where needs are that they could meet and come alongside of people to help them, but I think twos' radar is also up to recognize, this is an opportunity where I could be embarrassed, or this is an opportunity where I might shame myself in some way. So I need to avoid that. I need to move as fast away as I can from this environment or from these conversations or from these actions, because this is going to bring embarrassment, shame, and displeasure to the people around me. Others will look negatively on me and I will be unpleasing to them. And so their radar is up not only to see where needs are that they could meet, but also, is there opportunity here for me to embarrass myself or to bring shame upon myself? Then they're going to run away from that and avoid that. Okay, we're getting to the wings. Don't panic. This is just such good information that I don't want to miss it. Every day I learn and I grow, and I just want to share that with you guys to help you. If I express my real feelings, you already know where I'm going, don't you? You guys that are twos, you could answer the rest of this without me even saying it. If I express my real feelings, what? But see, your real feelings are you. That's you. That's you being real. That's why twos move to 4 when they're healthy, is because they get in touch with what they want, how they feel, and they become authentic to themselves, not just what people need them to be, but really tapping into that sense of yourself and your own identity. Okay, let me finish that statement. If I express my real feelings, my real desires, and my real needs, what you might say my unlovable self, because twos feel unlovable. It's so sad. We love you guys. We don't want you to feel like that. It just shows you how rooted the Enneagram is in our fallenness, in our brokenness. That you could go through life for years, maybe decades, feeling unlovable. It makes me feel so sad. If I share my real feelings, my real desires, my real needs from my unlovable self, I will be rejected and humiliated. That's so sad. Man, it just hurts my heart. I will be rejected and humiliated. Living with that sense that if I'm real with people, I'm going to be rejected, I'll be humiliated. Or criticized. You might just say that. Criticized. Ones hate to be criticized. They can't take it because they criticize themselves all the time. Twos, it's so painful for twos as well to be criticized. None of us really like it. Eights might enjoy the banter, but nobody really likes to be criticized. But ones and twos are especially just susceptible to self-defeating, tendencies when they're criticized or put under the microscope. Well, I don't have as many needs as other people have. So twos operate with that belief system. I don't have as many needs as other people have. And remember, the sin of the two is pride. It's that sense that not being in touch with your own sense of your own needs, that it's shameful. That's the key word, that it's shameful for you to have needs like other people, like quote unquote normal people, because you're a super person, right? Right. You don't have needs. You do. It's just you may not want to acknowledge them because it feels selfish to acknowledge them. Somewhere along the way you got the message that for you to be as needy and dependent, as crybaby as everybody else is, that's you just being selfish. So you go around looking for everybody's needs, but then won't acknowledge that you yourself, have those needs, because that's being selfish. And seeing everyone else as being selfish is a form of pride. Okay. It's easier to sacrifice my own needs in the service of meeting other people's needs to make them happy than it is to assert my own needs and desires. Okay? Conflict produces bad feelings. I'm with you there. I'm a 7. I hate conflict. 9s hate conflict. Conflict produces bad feelings and the further disapproval of other people. So you avoid conflict and that's why I think one of the reasons why 2s might avoid leadership positions at times is because when you put yourself out as a leader, you're inviting conflict, you're inviting challenges, and 2s want to be pleasing. 2s want to be supportive. They want to be there to, for others. They don't want to be thought of as displeasing. They want to be criticized. And so 2s have a hard time with conflict because it produces bad feelings and disapproval, and it risks damaging relationships even further. I know how to make people like me. My ability to make people like me ensures my survival and well-being. Again, I said there's two kinds of people, those that love you and those that don't know you well enough. Given enough time, you'll win them over. Okay, winning them over is seduction. Okay, most people like happy people who flatter them and meet their needs. Again, one of the operating core values of a 2 is that belief that people like people that are happy. People like people that don't have a lot of needs. People like people that can help them and be a benefit to them. And so I've got to be all those things. Or I make people like me by being less of me, is how you could say that if you want to say it in a way that stings. I make people like me by being less of me and being more of what they want me to be or what they need me to be. Most people like happy people who flatter them. And flattery, I think, is just keeping the conversation focused on them. You may say, I don't flatter people. I don't go around and tell people lies that they're better than they are. It's not necessarily that you flatter them by saying, oh my, that dress looks great on you. Oh, you've lost weight. It may not be that kind of flattery. It's just the focus of the attention is on them. You don't feel like it's a comfortable place to have the focus of attention on you. You would rather keep the focus of the conversation on them, their trip, their family, their kids. Because when you start talking about your life, that's opportunity for you where you're vulnerable with people, where people could maybe find something displeasing in you, and that's painful. Because that scratches at that core fear that I'm a displeasing person without worth and value. Okay. Most people don't like needy people who cause trouble or create conflict by expressing negativity, strong feelings, and opinions. So what are you going to do? Not express negative feelings, negativity, strong feelings, or your own opinions. When you give to others, they are obligated to give back to you. Again, I hate to tell you, but a lot of people don't think like that. They think, oh, well, you're just a nice person. Thank you. We're so happy you're a part of our team. Let me take advantage of you. And they will. I should say, and we will, because I'm one of the people that finds myself sometimes, not being all that appreciative like I should be to the 2s in my life. But 2s operate with that assumption that relationships are reciprocal, and if I take care of you, you're going to then want to take care of me or be there for me. And you're surprised, it seems like, Lucy keeps taking the football away, because every time you go up to kick, you can't depend on the people that you've been taking care of. So it's kind of a losing game at times. So let's talk about the wings. Okay, so we've described a little bit more about the two. Go back and watch my videos on twos if you want to know more about twos. But we've described a little bit about twos. Their goal is to be pleasing. Their goal is to be of help. Their goal is to keep the attention on you. It comes from the fundamental fear that they don't have intrinsic worth and value, and that they're creating their value then by being valuable to you personally, by being your good friend. Okay, now twos are going to lean either toward a 1 or toward a 3, and that's going to be their dominant wings. And I will tell you, as I say in all these videos, whatever your dominant wing is, okay, good, that's where you land on this. Learn to develop the other wing that is your what's the opposite of dominant? Help. It must be after lunch, nap time. Your less significant wing, your less dominant, that's genius, isn't it? Your less dominant wing, work on developing that, because for all of us, my contention is, if we could balance ourselves truly between those two wings and learn to balance ourselves between those wings, we will move toward health. So in other words, the 2 will move toward a 4, the positive side of 4, the good side of 4, the strong sense of identity, the strong sense of self, the confidence, the willingness to step out and be themselves. The 2 will be pushed to move toward that healthy sense of 4 when they learn to balance on both of their wings. Let's talk about the 2 wing 1, the servant. Okay, the 2 wing 1 takes pride, you could say, in their service to others, in their willingness to serve others, to really get their hands dirty taking care of people. This is the proverbial caretaker. Okay, this is the person that is not afraid to do whatever jobs need to be done, often in the background, often more introverted than the 2 wing 3. Very serious-minded, service-minded, lives in the worlds of oughts and shoulds and rights and wrongs, very moralistic, often in the religious world. This person is going to help you because it is good and right and loving, and that's the way we all should act. And let's not make fun of people, and let's not humiliate people. Let's take care of people. So there's going to be the little bit of the preachy tone of the 1 blended over into this caregiving heart. So a giant heart, but with a clipboard of not only what needs to get done, but how to do those jobs and who's doing those jobs. And we all do this because we take care of each other. Okay? They serve because it's the right thing to do. Driven by their sense of love or altruism, by their concern. They're not necessarily sitting around thinking about themselves and how they're coming across, and is everybody, giving them the attention they deserve. They don't want the attention. They want to give the attention and care and concern to you. You matter, and you're important, and you have value, and I'm here to help and care for you. And they can be more critical of themselves than the 2 wing 3. More introspective, more harsh with themselves like a 1, more judgmental about the behavior of others and themselves, more willing to tap down their own instincts and desires and suppress those like a 1 in order to focus the attention on taking care of you and being a good person and being a helpful person and being a kind person. That's a lot of pressure to live with, isn't it? to be morally good all the time, to be a caretaker and a servant and helpful to others all the time. That's a lot of pressure you're putting on yourself to be this good and this helpful all the time. They combine a warm heart with seriousness of purpose, personal goodness, lined up with being service to others. Being good means you're helpful to people. Being helpful to people means you're good. Morality with empathy. I'm going to do the right thing for the right people, the people in need. I'm here to serve others. I'm here to take care of others. That's a good thing to do. That's the right thing to do. That's what others should do. That's what I ought to do, and it's what others ought to do. So Good Samaritans. Good Samaritans would be very much 2 wing 1, or possibly 1 wing 2 as well. Willing to do the thankless jobs, the jobs behind the scenes that don't get a lot of attention, that don't draw a lot of attention, but, that the right people notice, I guess. The right people notice, and you can be content as long as the right people notice that you are contributing and making others' lives better. If nobody notices, at least you can go to bed at night at the end of the day and say, I am a good person, I'm a caring person, and I need to go to bed at night believing that about myself. That I'm a good, caring person who takes care of others and puts other people ahead of themselves. Joy is Jesus first, others second, and yourself last. And that's how 2s are going to live their life. Others matter. Others are the focus of the attention. And the weak, broken people are the people that matter most. And the people that I don't yet know, the people that I'm disconnected from, that are out there all by themselves, the homeless, the poor, the hungry, the rejected, the disabled, the elderly, the infants, people that can't take care of themselves, dominate my heart, and I have to go help them. I'm compelled to go help them. People that are 2 wing 1s may really struggle and fight against their own selfish desires. They may feel like anytime they have a desire or want a break or need some time away or just need some time to peace and quiet to reflect, to just rest, that's being selfish. That if they were to get away with some friends and go do something themselves, they're going to feel that guilt. I should be at home taking care of the kids. If they're at home taking care of the kids, I should be at work earning extra income to help the family. If they're at work, I should be writing cards to, family members that I haven't spoken to in the last 6 months. I ought to do for others all the time. This is a lot of stress, isn't it? It's a lot of stress. It sounds like a lot of stress. Again, they prefer often working in the background because in the background you're not a target, right? You already have that sense that you're worthless. And if you're proven to be worthless by being ineffective, that's more painful than you could imagine. And so I'm going to lay low back here and help behind the scenes, because if I put my name out there, I'm welcoming people's criticism and their displeasure. And displeasure is something that 2s don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to bring you, displeasure. So they often will position themselves in such a way as to be helpful without making themselves a target. Okay. So what does the 2 wing 3 look like? This is the host. Okay. This is the hostess. This person's more extroverted usually. This person's more concerned about how they're coming across. They're much more concerned about their image than the 2 wing 1. They have that 3 value of look at me, look at what I can do, look at what I can accomplish. Aren't you impressed by this? Aren't you impressed by what you see? So they may be more externally focused in terms of like their attractiveness, their clothing, more seductive in that frame of thinking. They want to be more, they're polishing up the package a little bit more. Okay, they enjoy making you feel better, but they command more attention themselves. They're a little bit more sultry, a little bit more, seductive in drawing your attention onto them, to how they look and how they're behaving and how they're acting. They develop their personal talents, maybe, to like being a singer, or being a designer, being an artist, creating a beautiful home. These things that will then make you look more favorably on them, to attract you to them. More outgoing, maybe more humorous. They're working in these connections to establish connections that will command some attention for themselves. They may be a little more focused on personal gain than the servant, than the 2-wing 1. More image oriented, I think, is the best way to describe the 2-3 than the 2-1. More outgoing, they seek love through the creation of personal connections and making other people feel great. So again, they're going to make you feel good. They're tied to the personal qualities rather than their quality. Okay, so the way that 2-3 is going to be helpful to you, or make connections with you, is more about themselves as a person and their friendship to you, and less about what they're actually doing for you. So the 2-3 comes alongside of you, and they're so attractive, and they're so friendly with you, and they're so connected to you and helping you to connect to others, and they're so cute and so wonderful and so charming, where the 2-wing 1 is more focused on meeting your needs and taking care of you and being of help and benefit physically to you. So the 2-3 is more like, hey, I'm a great friend to you, so we're connected, right? And I focus attention on you and make you feel great, so we're connected, right? The 2-wing 1 is more likely to think like, I've done this for you. I've taken care of you. I did the jobs for you that others didn't want to do for you. I served you. So we're connected, right? So you'll be there for me, right? So we're in this together, right? So they're more, 2-3s are more sociable, more talkative, more charming, more adaptable, more big personality than maybe the 2-1. Again, the 2-1 may be more reclusive, more shy, more introverted, and the 2-3 is more extroverted, more extravagant, more boisterous, louder, telling you about all of their great connections that they have and how important they are to other important people. Okay. They enjoy bestowing whatever talents and resources they possess on their friends and family. They love cooking for you, entertaining, singing, listening. All these ways are showing you, their attractiveness and why the connection with them is important. 2-3s can be very good-humored, ambitious, focused. They are not typically overt caretakers like the servant, like 2-1, but their friendship with you and the quality of their attention that they give you is the sufficient gift that they give you. They may be excessively friendly, exaggerated sentimentality, very sentimental, very thoughtful, overly friendly, giving you the perfect, thoughtful gift, remembering the perfect, thoughtful gift for you. Let's see, blending the drive of intimacy with the desire for acceptance of the 3, the intimacy of the 2, and the desire for admiration and acceptance of the 3. Less likely to engage in self-questioning and self-criticism. The 2-wing 1 is more self-critical than the 2-3 is. 2 3s are more direct about saying what they want and what their needs are and what services they want you to provide for them. They're more extroverted and more direct. Okay, well, I hope this helps you determine a little bit better which type you are, which wing is your dominant wing. And again, I think the path forward is for you to recognize what your least dominant wing is and then to try to develop that. If you're a great hostess, then focus on becoming more of a servant. If you're a great servant, focus a little bit more attention on that 3 wing and developing that 3 wing a little bit. And I think as you investigate what that means and try to, decide what that means for you, it's going to move you forward and make you a richer, fuller person and move you toward health. As always, be present to life. Don't miss what's right in front of you for what you wish or what you want or the way you think things should be. Don't miss the relationships that are right under your nose. Looking for other relationships that are not there yet. Let's all take care of each other. Let's all love each other. Be gracious to one another. If I can help you in any way, the way to get in touch with me is in the description below. I'm happy to meet with you, FaceTime, Skype, whatever I can do if you feel like you're stuck, you feel like you're trapped, you can't move forward, or you just want some encouragement that's personal to you. I'd love to meet with you further. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.